Roy Asbury Cooper 3. He defeated Republican incumbent Pat McCrory for the governorship in a close race in the 2016 election. On December 5, McCrory conceded the election, making Cooper the first challenger to defeat a sitting governor in the state's history. Cooper took office on January 1, 2017. The Republican-dominated legislature passed bills in a special session before he took office to reduce the power of the governor's office. The legislature has overridden several of his vetoes of legislation. Cooper won re-election in 2020, defeating Republican nominee and incumbent Lieutenant Governor Dan Forrest. Roy Asbury Cooper III was born on June 13, 1957 in Nashville, North Carolina to Beverly Batchelor and Roy Asbury Cooper II. His mother was a teacher and his father was a lawyer. He attended public school and worked on his parents' tobacco farm during summer. He graduated from Northern Nash High School in 1975. He received the Morehead Scholarship at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill for his undergraduate studies. He was elected as the president of the university's Young Democrats. He also earned a Juris Doctor degree from the University of North Carolina School of Law in 1982. After practicing law with his family's law firm for a number of years, Cooper was elected to the North Carolina House of Representatives in 1986. He was appointed to the North Carolina Senate in 1991 to fill a remaining term of a seat that was vacated. In 1997, he was elected as Democratic Majority Leader of the state Senate. He continued to practice law as the managing partner of the law firm Fields & Cooper in Rocky Mount and Nashville, North Carolina. Cooper was elected North Carolina Attorney General in November 2000 and took office on January 6, 2001. He was re-elected for a second four-year term in 2004. Cooper was mentioned as a possible Democratic candidate for North Carolina governor in 2008. But he decided to run for re-election as Attorney General instead. He was easily re-elected, defeating Republican Bob Crumley and garnering more votes than any other statewide candidate in the 2008 Attorney General election. Both state and national Democrats attempted to recruit him to run against Republican U.S. Senator Richard Burr in 2010, but he declined. In 2012, politicians suggested him as a possible candidate for governor of North Carolina after incumbent Governor Bev Perdue announced her retirement. But Cooper declined to run. His political consultant announced in 2011 that Cooper would seek a fourth term in 2012. He was unopposed in both the Democratic primary and the general election. In the November 2012 elections, Cooper received 2,828,941 votes. In January 2007, when Durham District Attorney Mike Nifong asked to be recused from dealing with the Duke lacrosse case, Attorney General Cooper's office assumed responsibility for the case. On April 11, 2007, Cooper dismissed the case against the Duke lacrosse team players, declaring them innocent and victims of a tragic rush to accuse. The decision won him bipartisan praise. 2 days after the 2007 Virginia Tech shooting, he created the Campus Safety Task Force to analyze school shootings and make policy recommendations to help the government prevent and respond to them. The committee delivered its report to him in January 2008. Following the release of the task force's findings, Cooper assisted members of the North Carolina General Assembly in passing a law which required court clerks to record involuntary commitments in a national gun permit database. Following a decision in 2010 by a 3-judge panel to exonerate Gregory Taylor, who had served nearly 17 years for the first-degree murder of Jaquetta Thomas, Cooper ordered an audit after it was learned that officials at the North Carolina State Bureau of Investigation Forensic Lab had withheld information. This suppression of evidence had contributed to Taylor's conviction for murder. The audit was released in 2010. It found that it had been common practice for 2 decades for a select group of agents within the State Bureau of Investigation to withhold information. In addition, they did not keep up with scientific standards and the latest tests. The 2 investigators, Chris Swecker and Michael Fox, cited almost 230 cases that were tainted by these actions. 3 persons convicted in such cases had been executed. 80 defendants convicted were still serving time in prison. A massive state effort was undertaken to follow up on their cases. Cooper argued his first case before the United States Supreme Court, J.D.B.V., North Carolina. In 2011, a case related to Miranda rights in juvenile cases. The court ruled 5-4 against North Carolina. Cooper ran for governor of North Carolina in the 2016 election against incumbent Republican Pat McCrory. In March 2016, the North Carolina General Assembly passed the Public Facilities Privacy and Security Act, commonly known as House Bill 2, which McCrory signed into law.